Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be how big wave surfing applies to eliminating chronic pain. So I'll get to that in a minute. Hope everybody's well. And don't worry, I'll make sense of this topic. It seems kind of abstract. All right. So I used to have this fascination with watching these surfers go out and paddle out into or get towed into by a jet ski or a wave runner into these waves that were 30, 50, 70 feet tall. And these were some serious athletes. You know, they had to have stamina. They had to hold their breath for multiple minutes because if one of these big waves pummels them, pushes them under the water, they're going to have to hold their breath for possibly minutes, right? So what was really interesting was in learning more about what they were doing, it was really important for them to recognize that when the wave crashes on them, they wipe out. Most important thing that they needed to do was relax. They kind of go limp or sometimes curl up a little bit, but basically go limp and let the wave pummel them. And what the logic there was, if they fought against the wave that was pummeling them, and they started trying to swim for the surface, and as the wave is flipping them over and over again, in some cases they'd be swimming for the bottom of the ocean and not the surface. And so what they learned was the best way to handle a big wave crashing on you was to simply let it do its thing, and it would eventually pass and let you up, right? So how does that apply to chronic pain? Well, if you've ever been in the middle of a flare-up, sometimes we get in the middle of a flare-up, and what do? We start thrashing around. We start fighting it. We start trying to figure it out. We get full of despair. Our thoughts go nuts instead of just allowing it. You know, so many times we try to figure out what caused the flare and what did I do wrong? I must have done something wrong, and we get into self-blame and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes the best thing to do when you're in that wave, you know, being buried by this huge wave of chronic pain, a big flare-up, is to allow it. Stop fighting it. Allow it. And just simply trust this wave's going to pass. It's going to let me up again. Just trust it. Because the more you fight, the more fuel you're pouring on the fire, and you're literally pouring gasoline on this fire and wondering why it won't go out. So allowing a big wave of pain as opposed to freaking the heck out. Because I'll tell you, the big wave surfers that got pummeled by a 50-foot wave, if they panic, they're going to end up in a lot more trouble than if they remain calm, go limp, and let the wave carry them until it lets them up, and then they can get to the surface. So the analogy, the analogy is very useful because we can absolutely view a flare-up of symptoms or pains like a wave that's crashing. And the more we allow it, simply allow it and not fight it, the faster it passes, right? So I hope this makes sense. Not a real long video, but next time you're in a big flare-up, you don't have to figure it out. You didn't do anything wrong. Allow, relax, it will pass. Know that you're safe. You're going to be okay. And hope this analogy was helpful for you. So we'll see you folks tomorrow. Take care. Love you.